A while back, I came across a photo of my father holding 2 small chickens. And I'd asked him, where were you getting your chickens from back then? And unsurprisingly, he said, McMurray. I say unsurprisingly because it's more than 60 years since that black and white photo was taken, and I too, this week, am awaiting the arrival of chicks from the McMurray Hatchery. Now, seeing a photo like that reminds me how much backyard resilience is part of my family's story and tradition, as it is for many of you. Or it's something that you'd like to pick up. Now, the tools and some of the gear have changed, but the idea, that's still very much the same. Hi, I'm Laith. Welcome back to Wineberry Hill. Now, I decided to take some time off of working on the chicken coop and run remodel so that I could get my basement brooder ready for the arrival of those chicks from McMurray. So here's a look at the construction of my basement chicken nursery. As some of you can probably tell, this brooder was made from materials that were left over from my ongoing coop remodel. And I selected this size because ideally it will be big enough to hold the chicks throughout the entire time that they're in the nursery phase. And then the baker's dozen chicks that I'm getting can go directly from here into the final permanent coop. Now it has all the basics that you would need. It has a nice thick layer of bedding. It has a warmer, a waterer, and a feeder. And I also have a hanging heat lamp. And this heat lamp, which is kind of your standard issue heat lamp, actually serves dual purposes. You want your chicks to be able to move out from the warm area to cool off if they need to. And so you don't want to have it the same temperature throughout the brooder. But if it turns out that they still want it to be warmer even when they move outside of the warming plate, well, I can move this heat lamp lower. But regardless, it doesn't just serve the purpose of being a heater. No, because it has a red light, it helps with another problem that you can experience with chickens. Chickens are obsessive, and when they see an injury, they'll peck at it. And so having a red light, especially with chicks, helps minimize them obsessively pecking at each other's injuries. I also have these screens over the top because as they get bigger, they'll start moving around a bit more vigorously. And it's pretty great that I have the brooder done because I just received a notification that the chicks are at the post office. So it's time to go pick them up. So the chicks will have been in transit for about 2 days. And I often wondered, well, how do you do that? How do you not feed a little baby like that for days? And kind of an interesting thing about chickens is they have a belly button. And shortly before they hatch, the yolk of the egg gets absorbed through their belly button, and they live off the yolk for about the first 3 days once they're hatched, which I think is pretty amazing. So yeah, regardless, they've been in transit for about 2 days. Maybe this is about the 3rd day. And so they're going to need to probably warm up, and they're going to need to be hydrated. And I'll also make some of the supplies that they sent along with the chicks available to them if they're feeling peckish. All right, so let's get these babies all set. The first thing that I did when I got them home was I mixed up Quik Chik electrolytes and I made a little batch of Gro-Gel. And basically that gives them just a little extra boost for anything that they do drink or eat. And then for about the first 45 minutes to an hour, they just hung out underneath the warmer. I suspect they might have gotten a little bit over chilled on that last leg of the journey for them in New England. But the brave ones are starting to venture out, and they're starting to eat, and they're starting to drink, and they're starting to poop. All very good signs for new chicks. Like I said, this kind of thing isn't new. It's something my family and many of yours have been doing for generations. And while some aspects of backyard resilience have changed, the core idea hasn't. Careful animal husbandry, making use of what you have, and staying connected to where your food comes from. Well, that stays the same. Thank you for watching, commenting, and supporting the channel. It's something that you would like to pick up. There's more words after that. Chicks from the McMurray factory. The McMurray factory. That would be an amazing thing to see, a chicken factory. I'm awaiting the arrival of chicks from that very sane. That is a fair statement. They are sane. Well, they might be crazy right now because of all the chicks that they have to ship out. Okay, let's try that again. And they're ready to go into their permanent home. They're gonna start moving around a little bit more happily, a little bit more. What's the word I'm looking for? They're going to be moving around a little more vigorously. Okay, so that's the basic coop. Oh, this is not a coop. This is a brooder. And this is take like 500. And if you like this one, well, you might like these.